So before I could even speak, my mom said that I would just hum around the house nonstop. Who knew what I was humming, but I was doing it. And once I kind of, could talk, just little songs here and there, little lullabies that my mom would sing me. I was just always like a very musical child.
Hey guys, I'm Abby Dalton, if you don't know that already. Welcome to my channel. I'm a sophomore in high school, and a lot of times when you're a junior, people ask you, what college do you want to go to? What do you want to be when you grow up? And I've had adults tell me, like, you're gonna be 17 and you're being forced to choose what you want to do for the rest of your life at the age of 17 when you're focused on what people think of you, and you're such a baby, like, not like a baby, but like you're still so young. And like,
so if you dig back into my now private YouTube videos from when I was 10 years old, you will see a little trackpad at the bottom of every video, and that's because I was filming on my stepmom's Toshiba laptop webcam, which was awful, and it would overheat. And my mom ended up buying me a camera 8th grade, so like we're talking years later. She bought me a Canon Rebel T3i that she got on Black Friday. It was the biggest deal ever. It was so great. So I started to have a screen that could flip, and I could like see myself and be able to like correct myself and what I was doing film-wise. And really my YouTube became just like a platform for me doing covers, music-wise. Like that's really what I wanted to be at the time. I really didn't know that I could even have a film career as a woman.
Walking home and talking loads, seeing trips and evening clothes with you.
So being on camera for music kind of just made me more confident. I was a shy kid. I didn't like to sing. I was a little girl who hid behind her mom's legs until I was around 13, and I did this music thing on YouTube, and it kind of just created a confidence in me, not only to be on camera, but to hold a camera. Now here I am holding cameras every day. And I really do think like that was detrimental to even having a career in film today.
So as a producer on set, I am making sure we are constantly either on schedule, or if we're behind, being aware of it. And I'm also in charge of DIT, which is kind of just making sure all the footage is organized, and lots of other things, such as making sure people get fed and making sure hair and makeup is on time. So a lot of moving pieces and a lot of little details is what I focus on.
So my role as a producer can change day to day, and really does. Whether it's making 8 phone calls just to find the right studio for my client, or it's sending spreadsheets and constantly updating them as crews fluctuate. It really just comes down to the small details. That's why I love producing, is just making sure that the small details are taken care of to really, create a big success for the film. One thing about me is I have this like defense mechanism to protect myself from really just let down of expectations. Like when I would be asked the question, what do you want to be when you're older? Or where do you want to be in 5 years? I never really let myself think that far in advance. And I think sometimes it might be a hindrance to my success, but I also think it's a huge, it just leaves this huge gap for God to fill of where He might want me. I think that being open to any possibility, whether I'm in film in 5 years or I'm not, I don't know how that will look. I don't know if I'll be here in 5 years, and I know that sounds a little extreme and dramatic, but I think it really just leaves room for opportunity. If I were to be able to talk to my younger self and give her advice, my advice would be to ask questions and to put your pride aside. Put your whatever knowledge you think you have that others might not. Put that at the door, leave it. Ask questions. Ask, how would you do this? And be okay with not being right. Point blank, like be okay with learning. Obviously be eager and willing to learn, but take everything with a grain of salt. No one has it perfect. No one really knows everything they're doing. Everyone has room for growth, and remember that. No one is perfect. No one knows it all. You get pulled in a lot of directions, wanting to grow in your film career, not really knowing where that could lead you. Hollywood. Well, Hollywood's in LA and Georgia. Where else? I'm in Texas, so it's like, what Hollywood is here? I learned at 18 that if I had gone the Hollywood route, if I had moved to LA, I would not be the woman I am today. I would probably not be married. I would be very sad and alone, but my career would be great. From the world's perspective, I might, have been on a lot of cool sets and have cool connections, but yet at the end of the day, who am I going home to? There's so much more to life than a career. And I think remembering that in every job I take is what keeps me humble.